So Aditya, great to chat to you. Hope everything is well with you over in Mumbai, despite these challenging times for everybody. You keeping well?
Yes. Yeah, great to chat with you as well. Good to see a familiar face after a long time. And, we're healthy and safe. And hopefully we'll be over this crisis very soon.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, we're celebrating the 145th anniversary of snooker's birth in India. And just talking a little bit about your story. Tell us a little bit to start with about how you first got interested in snooker.
Playing all sorts of sports from football to cricket to badminton, golf, snooker. It was all a part of probably my dad's master plan, maybe, of making me find a sport that suits me. And my dad was my first coach as well in the club. At the time, people under 18 were not even allowed to enter the snooker room. But since my dad was in the committee, got me some, opportunity to coach me while it was closed. And that's how it all started. It was one of the sports that stuck eventually. And I think it suited my personality. Very quiet, shy person. The isolation of the snooker room away from the heat of Mumbai was, I think, a nice change from other sports. I started playing for India when I was 17, started playing at the junior level. And honestly, I didn't really make the cut, the move as quickly as I would have liked, because I was performing on the junior circuit, but never really got to the level that I wanted in the men's circuit. And for a year in 2007, I even quit the game. I went to learn my family trade. And really, that was the turning point, coming back from that 1 year break. And as soon as, like, within 6 months of coming back from the break, I had reached, I won my state championship. I got to the finals of the national championship and got to the finals of the Asian championship and turned pro. So 6 months from the time that I returned to the game, I was suddenly now a professional. And there was a lot of ups and downs in that phase. Before the 2012 win on the Asian championship, I'd already reached the final twice before. 2012, I made my breakthrough, and that was the year I played my best snooker at the Asian. I beat the best players in the tournament on my way. Hossein Vafai was already world champion at the time, world amateur champion. Beat him in the semis and beat Pankaj Advani again, who was world amateur champion before that, in the finals. So that was a big step up. And then going on to the Pro Tour again from there was when, there was a certain amount of confidence in my ability.
Yeah, in 2012 as well, you received the Arjuna Award in India, which is obviously a very prestigious award for sportsmen. And how proud did that make you feel?
Yeah, that was an incredible moment. You get to go to the president's house and receive the award from him in person. And obviously, it's a massive ceremony. My parents were there, my sisters were there, and it was a matter of huge pride. And I think it took a while to come, but it was definitely a goal in life to achieve something worthy of being awarded that the Arjuna Award. And fortunately, I did it, quite early in my career.
2012, 13, 14 was very much the kind of golden spell of your career as a pro. And one particular highlight which stands out on the world stage, you won a gold medal in the World Games in Colombia 2013. Again, beat some great players, including Yang Wenbo, 3-0 in the final. What are your memories of that event?
For some reason, I just played well from the beginning. And, my quarterfinals was against Joe Perry, who was obviously favorite for the tournament. And I made a recovery from 2-1 down and 50 points down. And I somehow managed to win that match. And that just gave me the confidence to really, push through. And in the finals, I was just absolutely on fire. And I couldn't even believe it myself, how well I was playing on that day. And so I think maybe just sometimes things are meant to be. Just standing there, the pictures from that event are forever sort of on the walls in my house, because to be with the tricolor and stand there, the national anthem. We've experienced it before the Asian Games, but you can never get tired of something like that as a sports person. It was one of the greatest moments, and I think that really propelled me for the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, to win a gold medal is an amazing achievement in any sport. And then, of course, later on that year, you made your big breakthrough really on the Pro Tour, getting to your first ranking final. That amazing week in Delhi, you know, the first ever Indian Open. We couldn't have really written the script better apart from the result in the final. But you know, it was such an amazing week. It was a little bit like, as I remember, 2005 with Ding Junhui in Beijing, and kind of, you know, him becoming a big star, winning his first ranking title. It seemed all the way like your name was on the trophy. You know, the way you played and the way you went through the field was fantastic. What do you kind of remember about that week?
Yeah, like you said, you couldn't possibly have written the script any better. And he was already a global superstar by then, you know, and he was an incredible snooker player. I don't think I was anywhere close to the standard that he was producing at that time in his career. But to be able to play the final against him, you know, probably the greatest ever player from Asia, was an honor, because, you know, as you know, we also played at the same academy. We trained together, so it was a nice little moment.
And did the final in a way go by in a bit of a blur for you?
Yeah, I only had 45 minutes actually between the semis and the finals, and it was too short. I mean, I got some time to go up, get some food, but before I knew it, I was 4-0 down in the final. You know, literally, Ding had 5-1 visits in the final. So there's nothing really to complain. You know, he outplayed me in every department, and that was fine by me, because, you know, it just shows that somebody had to play really well to beat me that week, because I was managing to get wins against some incredible players that week. You know, Peter Ebden, Mark Williams, Stephen Maguire, Pankaj. There were so many really good players that I got through, that somebody really had to up it to a incredible level, because I had the crowd behind me. I had a lot of support, you know, and but, you know, I'm still pleased by the way things happened that week. It'll always be special.
You know, you've achieved a lot of firsts for India. You know, first ranking event finalist. Following year, you became the first and only so far Indian player to make a 147 at the Bull Hunter Classic in Germany. That's another great feather in your cap.
Yeah, I'll tell you, out of all of these things, I really, the 147 is something that I cherish a lot, because, you know, when we talk about history of the game, and you know, we're talking here about, you know, how old this game is, when, you know, it developed in India 145 years ago. But to be part of the history books of anything is a very great feeling, you know. Yes, I got to the Indian Open final. It doesn't quite feature in the history books as prominently as the list of 147 makers. I look at that list and I say that this is something that is, you know, forever. I will forever be in that elite list of players, to have made a professional 147. If I can recover from this neck issue better and start playing consistently well on the amateur circuit, I can see a return at some point on the Pro Tour. But I'm really having to take things very slowly at this point, because the relapses in pain and issues surrounding my neck are, you know, very common, and they just don't seem to be going away so far.
Sure. Well, one day we hope to see you back on the Pro Tour. In the meantime, you've been helping us out to promote the Facebook Live broadcast, which we've been doing in India, throughout India this season for the first time. But that's been very successful. We've had 26 million people across India watching our events on Facebook Live over the season. And I think that kind of shows that even though we've still got a lot of potential, hopefully, to grow in India, there is a big fan base out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What I've seen over the last 2 years since I came back has been quite surprising. I mean, I'm seeing some of the best junior players that I have seen in a couple of decades coming through at this point in time, because ever since myself and Pankaj sort of broke through that junior phase and, you know, got to the top of the men's, we haven't really seen any big junior talent coming up and, you know, breaking through. And so finally, I'm really glad to see the amount of new talent that's coming, the amount of youngsters that are coming. I'm sure that this is going to be, you know, a nice new chapter, especially with the start of the Facebook Live stream. This is going to be a new chapter for Indian snooker.